yards a weekend to go, as it'll be the Chicago Bears taking on the Green Bay Packers. With that, let's get up to Green Bay, Wisconsin. Standing by for the call from venerable Lambeau Field, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
On second down now, it's Jones. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see
pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. That sack by Khalil Mack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long. On third and long, it's Rodgers. And he finds his tight end, Graham. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. A run on 1st down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one good for 37 yards. Got to give a nod of appreciation to some of those guys up front over on that left side. Several key blocks sprung him.
No appreciation for the guys from the backside that didn't allow any leakage, anybody could run him down from the backside.
They're at the kids' table.
Okay, so front side guys, backside guys, that's what you're supposed to do?
I've had better.
Okay, either way, worked out quite well, didn't it? A nice sizable gain.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
They're going to be stopped up on his 1st down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's third down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Call it a gain of 5, fourth down now.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put him in field goal range.
Yeah, one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed them to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Aaron Lynch, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Throwing now is Rodgers. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Roquan Smith. He's the one that drops in this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks. Here's Rodgers throwing on 3rd and long. And that's complete to Adams. And they'll get him down here at the 23. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Fielded just inside the 20. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, in first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals. All right, number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it. I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
Okay, so you just took the big loss. Now what are you doing on 4th down?
Well, we have a change of plans now is what we have, because I think they were looking at the play sheet, trying to dial something up to go for it on 4th down. But after that loss, that goes right out the window. Now you have to kick the field goal and hope to come back down the next time and score.
So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Now, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it?
Number 12 back out there. Aaron and his Packer teammates set to begin their drive. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Rodgers will bring the Pack up with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he'll take it down shy of 45 at the 46. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 36. Rodgers will bring him up to the line, 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Aaron Lynch in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watch the game tape.
And pressure gets to him again. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Throwing on 3rd and long. Rodgers. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a 1st down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Here's Rodgers. The Packers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Mike 45. Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Here's J.K. Scott now, as he's on to punt for Green Bay. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
They try and run on 1st down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. We now proceed to the start of the 2nd half. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Bears to take over on offense. They've got the lead right now, and remember, they are riding that very impressive 7-game winning streak, trying to push it to 8. They try to run on 1st down, but this defense says no dice. They stop them a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Well, the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll run with McCaffrey. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Yeah, he's going to be stopped short of a 1st down as they'll get to him at about the 33. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. So nursing a slim lead, and that is the opposite of protecting that slim lead.
All I can think here is that head coach, he knows more about what's going on with his team than we do. He must know something's up. Either he has trouble with his punter, right? He's worried about his defense. There's an explanation in there that we're going to ask for after the game, because in this situation, I wouldn't have done that in normal circumstances, but maybe he thought my best opportunity.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Aaron Lynch in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. To throw, it's Rodgers. And Graham's got it, complete. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the 1st down. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he could break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessary.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Christian McCaffrey with touchdown number 20 on the year as the Bears push further out in front. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Working from the gun. Rodgers. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is. And he's going to go down again. Khalil Mack getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. He's looking for another 4-sack game. That's how many he had last week. That's his 3rd.
And when I watch him rush the passer, the thing that always comes to mind for me is how well he uses his hands. The martial arts stuff that a lot of guys do in the offseason to work on those, paying dividends for him. He's getting home in a big way.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. That's taken on the 25. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Bears take over. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. We've seen him be good so far. He's hoping to continue that trend here in quarter number 3.
And typically when you see guys running it this well, they see the game in slow motion, don't they? They see the cuts happen, they see the blocks happen, they feel really good about their vision, and then they use their legs to find that open space.
And he's had some good help up front to boot.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
3rd down. Here's McCaffrey. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain. He's able to chew up 8 yards on the carry there, but still 4th down upcoming. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Montgomery, they'll run for it. Running right through it. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now at Lambeau. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards. On the tackle that time, Dean Lowry. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
15 yards on the play, first down. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Yeah, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off the game.
First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Oh, he shifts past him. And now running right through it. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And now it's second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
18.
Throwing on second and long. Trubisky gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for third. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Christian McCaffrey, his 21st touchdown of the season as the Bears push further out in front.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because it certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
On the delay, Jones. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a fourth down situation with things not looking particular. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
I can't believe they even let you
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 11 yards there, first down. They got the ball in great field position after the fumble, but this defense tried to stand tall.
They certainly are, and a lot of times after you pick up a fumble or get an interception, you have momentum on your side. You kind of walk through a defense and score. Not so fast, not in this case.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Bears use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
Now, I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Now comes the Chicago defense getting ready for the next possession. They've played a great game. I guess the only thing they would really have hoped for other than this outcome would have been a shutout. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. Throwing on 2nd and long. Rodgers gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. He's at the 50, 30, the 20. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones, 84 yards. And the Packers get a score closer. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy who can...
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, we try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, you know, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Bears, they get win number 10 on the year as they move to 10-1. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Packers, their luck may have run out as they fall to 4-7 now in the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis